CATV is proudly presented by Toyota.
Russell, obviously T20 is a lottery anyway. When it's 7 overs, it's even more so. But did you think there were some important lessons that you learned even in the 7-over game today?
Yeah, look, there's always a lesson to be learned no matter what format, what how many overs you play. So some good lessons learned, and we've played a few in the last 2 years or so. We've had 7 or 8 overs reduced, and look, Australia won the game and it deserves to do so. But I wasn't too disappointed with the way we played today.
The death bowling obviously remains key in T20 cricket because in the last 2 overs you can easily concede 30-40 if you're not careful. Do you feel comfortable with the options that you've got for death bowling going to the World Cup?
Yeah, definitely. Look, you still got to remember guys like Dale and Mornay aren't here. So it was a great opportunity for guys like Durban, his first stage of international cricket, to feel the pressures and see what it's about. And Parney's done it for us before and been successful for us. And so all part of the process, I suppose.
Do you think you've settled on a combination like, for example, your first game of the tournament? Do you have a good idea of where you might lean towards, or is Friday's game still important in that sort of sifting process?
No, I think we've got a pretty good idea as to what our strongest 11 will be. We obviously need to assess conditions once we get to Bangladesh, but we've got a pretty good idea as to what our strongest 11 will be. And a guy like Imran Tahir, who's done so well for us in the last year, he's also still got to come into the side, I suppose. So there's still some options available to us.
You're happy that they decided to go ahead with the game?
Yeah, it was a little bit odd because I think both captains agreed to probably not give it a go because of the outfield, and I think umpires who decided to not give it a go, and I think it was overturned by the match referee. So, in the day, it turned to be a great spectacle, I suppose, for the crowd. But there's always a threat of serious injury when conditions are like that. So, but it's done now. Everyone's okay. And a good game of cricket.
So obviously you're happy no one got injured, but in terms of useful stuff leading.
No, very very useful. I mean, Quinny at the top of the order. Faf got some valuable time in the middle. So those type of, even though those 20-25 balls are invaluable, considering they haven't played this format for a good few months now.
Who do you see as your main dangers? Obviously you've got to get out of your group first, but when you look at the tournament as a whole, who do you see as being your biggest threat?
No, our group with Sri Lanka, England and New Zealand, they're all 3 quality sides, and we're not sure the qualifier is going to be as yet. So that could be someone like Bangladesh or Zimbabwe, whatever that's going to be. So each of those sides are all good enough to probably win the competition. So it's probably going to be one of the more open competitions. I think there are probably 7 or 8 teams that have got a real chance at it. You think of all the top test nations, they're all very much in the mix. The West Indies, Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, any of those sides can win the competition. So it's difficult to pinpoint 1 or 2 particular sides. They're all very, very competitive, and on the day can turn it on if they need to.
England series, but hadn't played in a while since then. Were you aware of what he was capable of in that last over?
No, for sure. I mean, we've seen him do it in the IPL for a good number of years now. He plays with Paddy Upton's side at the Royals, and he's won numerous games for them. And Paddy's always speaking very highly of him, so we know he's an outstanding finisher and very calm under pressure. And he's done it for a long period of time, and that's why he's got back into Australian side. So we knew that he's the guy that we probably needed to stop in those last overs, 1 or 2 overs.
Russ, maybe not fair to judge on just 1 over, but maybe a bit disappointing the way Totsobe started, conceding those 21 overs at the beginning.
Yeah, look, I think that's what David Warner can do to you, and it's just one of those things in a game of that nature. I think we had 11 after 3, and we ended up getting 80, which means in the next 4 we got 69, if my math serves correctly. So that's going to happen in these short formats of the game. It was a disappointing start for us. It would be nice to maybe consider just 8. Would have put them under a little bit of pressure, but it wasn't meant to be.
Thank you. So just one last thing. Just talking about your batting lineup, especially in the middle order, just in terms of finishing games as well. Are you happy with both Dave and Albie, what they can do in the tournament?
No, look, obviously we've got AB, we've got Dave, we've got JP, we've got Albie, all very destructive players, and it's a comforting thought knowing that they're all very experienced now. bar maybe David. So I think we've got that particular aspect of the game well looked after at the moment.
Just also on the fitness of everybody, I mean, as you sit there, are you quite convinced that some of the injured guys like Mornay and Dale and so on will be ready to go to Bangladesh?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Dale's had a grade 1 strain, and I think he had 10 days off before he can start doing some exercise. So I think the 10 days arrive the day we leave for Bangladesh. So we'll obviously need to assess him once we get to Bangladesh and check his fitness there. But Jacko's pretty confident that he'll be fine to play, and Mornay's, I think, having a cortisone injection in his shoulder. So that takes 4 or 5 days to settle down. So he should be fine when we leave on Saturday as well.
There's a guy like Carl Albert on standby to go if need be at short notice.
Look, definitely not officially. There hasn't been an official media release saying these are the guys on standby, but he's obviously the next guy in as far as we're concerned. He's a very good bowler, and he's done really well in this format. And unfortunately, we can only take 15. It would have great for him to have been in the squad, but that's just the way it is.
Coach, had Carl been in the squad, would it have been differently? Would he have bowled the last over maybe?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was it's Buren's first game in international cricket, and the captain wants to see what he's about and get to understand him a little bit, and so there's a lot of value in that. I mean, as he not bowled the second last over, what's the use of him in bowling the second last over in the World Cup? He'd have learned a great deal from that particular experience this evening. So disappointing with the result, but some really good stuff shown there this evening.